All right, everybody. Thank you all so much for joining. I'm overjoyed to be joined by Council President Jackie Clarkson. Thank you so much for being here. Councilmember John Johnson and Cynthia Hedge-Morell are with us. Dr. Don Irwin and Mary Awa, who have done just incredible work in District B in the Uptown community, the St. Thomas Health Center. Carol Bebel from Ashe Cultural Center, one of the great mainstays of District B in the Rutherford Castle Haley Boulevard. Lauren Anderson with Neighborhood Housing Services that has been rebuilding the Ferret Street corridor from the beginning. Mr. Wayne Clark from Gert Town, which, as you know, is going through a revival itself. John Chesesky, who was the pastor of St. Catherine Drexel, but much more importantly was the pastor at St. Matthias when I was a young man. So we forgot that. Father, don't tell him any stories about me. Pastor, remember that confession was important. Pastor C.S. Gordon is with us. Pastor Gordon, thank you so much. Keisha Robinson, Central City Renaissance. Miss Lynetta Gilbert is with us. Mr. Don Hubbard is with us as well. Thank you so much. And we have other community leaders with us for what I would consider to be a really wonderful and historic moment for the city of New Orleans. As you know, the responsibility of appointing an interim council member has fallen to me. I have taken that very seriously. We have received many, many recommendations. I can say to the people of District B, you should be so proud, because there is a very large number of really qualified and wonderful people who stand ready and willing to offer their services for District B. My team and I went to work right away when this responsibility fell to us, and I told them that I wanted them to find an individual that had very, very deep roots in District B. And we found a wonderful person who has lived in District B most, if not all, of her life. I told them that we wanted to find an individual who knew District B well, and who District B knew really, really well. We found a young lady who represented District B for 30 years, and the people that live in that area actually voted for her, and so she stood the test of time. And she fulfilled the greatest promise that democracy offers, was to be elected by the individuals that she now will be called upon to represent. I told them that I wanted an individual with the highest academic credentials. And this individual that is standing with us today has not only a Bachelor of Arts degree in political science, but she has a master's degree in health administration, which explains the tremendous amount of work that she did when she served us as a legislator and as a senator. I told them I wanted somebody with relevant experience, and you can't find any more relevant experience than having actually done the job before as a legislator and as a senator. This person understands how government works. She understands how the private sector works. She understands the way the faith-based community works, and she has been great at it. I told them that I wanted somebody with subject matter expertise, somebody that really understood the job that was before them. And as all of you know, we're in a very important time in the year for the city, because we're about to start working on the budget. This individual actually has perfect subject matter experience. She served on the Senate Finance Committee when she was a senator and was responsible for putting budgets together that ranged, depending on what governor she served with, and she has served with many, between $12 to $30 billion. So she understands how to handle money. I told them that I wanted somebody who could build coalitions, somebody that understood that when you build common interest and common ground, that you can get great things done. And I think you will find it very hard to find a person that doesn't have deep respect for this individual's ability to reach across racial lines, geographic lines, or even harsh partisan lines. Senator Bajoie developed a great relationship with Senator John Henkel, and their work across political lines yielded great benefit for the state of Louisiana. I told them that I wanted somebody that the young people of New Orleans could look up to, that all of the new young entrepreneurs coming in town, all of the new people that are giving us and dedicated their time, can understand where we came from and where we're going, somebody that they can learn from, somebody that can teach them how to work with grace and dignity under difficult pressure. And we found somebody to do that. Because this individual, as I have told you, is a trailblazer. In 1976, when she began her public service in the House of Representatives representing District 91. She was the only woman at the time serving in that body. In 1991, she was the first African-American woman ever elected to the Louisiana Senate. And when she took over in the Senate, she was, her oath as a Senate President pro tem, she was the first woman ever elected to a leadership post in the state of Louisiana, a trailblazer, somebody that exemplified the best that Louisiana had to offer. I told them that I wanted somebody that had great accomplishments in their background. And this particular individual has done an unbelievable job, not only representing the whole state, but the area that District B falls in. And if you think about it for a moment, that's where the Superdome is. That's where the arena is. That's where the convention center is. Aretha Castle Haley Boulevard, Ferret Street, all of those areas, not one of them has been untouched by the incredible work that Senator Bajoie has done in her life. And I told them that I wanted somebody that really understood life and the hardships that come with it. And I happen to share at least a little bit of this work along with Jackie Clarkson. Senator Bajoie, as all of you already know, is a survivor. She's a cancer survivor. She used that experience in her life to perhaps achieve, at least for the work that I've done, the greatest legislative victory that I've ever had the honor of working on. Senator Bajoie actually led the effort. And she is responsible, along with Jackie and other people, for the creation of the LSU Tulane Cancer Consortium, where the state of Louisiana, in partnership with the Feist-Wiley Cancer Center in Shreveport and the Pennington Biomedical Center, have created a research triangle to begin eradicating for all of us the mortality rate for cancer in the state of Louisiana. And Senator Bajoie led that effort. I told them that I wanted somebody that committed themselves to public service and community service. So when Senator Bajoie left her charge as a senator, she worked on boards and commissions. For those of you that may not remember, she was a member of the Recovery Authority and helped us rebuild after Katrina. She serves on the board of the National World War II Museum and WYES. And finally, I told them that I wanted a person of great dignity, of great grace, of unquestioned integrity, and an individual who, in the most difficult of times, can bring peace and tranquility and accomplishment to her task. And I believe that we have found that person. This is an individual who I have known almost my entire adult life, and I trust her implicitly. I trust her judgment, I trust her reason, I trust her history, I trust her experience, and most importantly, I trust her judgment. And I commend her to you. In my opinion, she is the perfect choice. And ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the interim council member from District B, Senator, now interim council member Diana Bajoie.
Thank you very, very much. I am truly honored, humbled, and this is just to be asked to serve is one of the greatest honors that I've ever had. Certainly, I was honored many years to be elected to serve in my district, but to be asked by the mayor to serve with this very distinguished body, I am truly honored and looking forward to it, and just as we move the city forward. I know we can do great things. I've been asked to serve with a group of very great individuals, many who I've worked with in the past, and look forward to a continued relationship as we move forward to build this great city. Like I always hear the mayor say, not the city we were, but the city we want to be. And I think that's so important, and I just think about that all the time. I tell them I sit down and in my deepest thoughts, I think about what we can do to take care of some of the problems that we have. And I know that working together with this great group of individuals and the greatest administration that I've served with, and as he said earlier, I've served with many governors and served with many mayors. But I've had an opportunity to work with Mayor Landrieu in his capacity in the legislature and also as lieutenant governor. and I know he's very aggressive, and I know he has a very aggressive agenda. And I know with working with him and with this council that we can make great things happen in this city. And I'm just ready to go. Ready to get started. I really am. I do want to thank all individuals who came out, and I look forward to working with you again. And in my new capacity, and as the council person, councilwoman, whatever you desire to call me, I'll answer. And sure, you can always call me Diana. But and I'm looking forward to it. And once again, I just want to thank you for taking the time. And certainly, I want to just thank the mayor again for
thank you for saying yes.
For asking me to serve in this capacity. I'm truly honored. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, first for responding so quickly to our need, and secondly for doing it so beautifully. And thank you, Senator Diana, for responding and accepting. Having served with Diana for many years, as 4 of us up here have served with each other in the legislature, I've always called her my favorite senator, and I loved a lot of senators, including Senator Johnson, no offense. And there's, you know, there's Hankel and Alario and all the West Banks, like Heitmeyers, but that everyone knows. To me, there's been one Diana Bajoie, because when I entered the legislature, women's health was on a back burner until she took a lead. We were not in the discussion. It was a good old boys club. And so it was a privilege to work at her side, and we helped put women's health on the map. That's the kind of pioneer she is. That's the kind of leader she is. That's the kind of coalition builder she is. And you've heard the mayor say it all. And she can do it again. I mean, she can do it in anything we need done in this city. She will take the time, the expertise, the leadership to build the coalition, to make it happen. I consider it a privilege as president of this council to welcome her aboard. And all of the other council people that were not planning to be here have all weighed in and welcome her also, and are excited about her coming. Thank you.
Thank you, we're going to have comments from the other council members, and then we're going to ask some of the individuals that represent some of the community organizations to speak as well. Councilmember Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and I just want to weigh in here and say a couple of things. To start off, it's going to be 6 instead of 5. I'm not going to be. I'm not going to be carrying out any garbage or anything of that nature. No, let me just start off by really expressing my very, very strong appreciation to the mayor and to my former colleague, Diana Bajoie, for joining us on the council. I certainly agree with the mayor that when you look around and look through the district and look through that whole area of the city of New Orleans, you would not have been able to find a person who is more qualified and who is able to hit the road running and running in the right direction than Diana Bajoie. She is someone whom I've had the opportunity to work with in the House of Representatives, as a member of that House of Representatives, and as a state senator, and she knows the lay of the land. And she is going to be able to make a significant contribution to the city council, and it's going to be able to work very, very cooperatively and closely with us in order to get the work done that we need to get done in the city. We all know that we have a lot of work to do, an awful lot of work to do throughout the city of New Orleans. And District B is no exception. It's a district that has unlimited potential, as the entire city does. And we've just got to come together as a council with the administration and work cooperatively and work together. And I can say to you, as one member of the city council, I am prepared to roll up my sleeves as a member of the city council and go to work with my 6 colleagues for the best interest of the entire city of New Orleans. That's the reason why we were elected. That's what people expect of us. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're going to be doing.
Thank you.
The mayor, council president, and Councilman Johnson have really said it all. So I'm not going to belabor the point. I just want to welcome Diana. I have had the privilege to know her for a long time. She served with my husband in the legislature. But I think the thing that the mayor so aptly said was that she was elected to represent District B, that area, for over 30 years. And I think the vast array of people that are standing up here that are extremely happy about her being selected really lets you know that a cross-section of that district is happy with this selection. And in the end, that's all that we wanted. Thank you.
Thank you. One of the things that we really considered was somebody that the people of District B knew very, very well. And we have with us a number of different individuals that work in every corner of District B. And I wanted to ask Dr. Irwin and Dr. Abel, who are running the St. Thomas Health Clinic, which started many, many, many years ago, and worked a lot on health in that area, to speak for a moment. They are about to cut the ribbon on Hooters. We're done. Are we in?
We're good.
All right, we're good to go. Right on Magazine Street. Everybody that passes it knows. One of the things that I'm most excited about is that they do 300 mammograms a month for women in need that otherwise would not have it, and have done just an incredible job. And so I thank them both for being here.
Welcome. Well, I'm from St. Thomas Community Health Center, and we've gone from 1987, a small abandoned apartment in the St. Thomas housing development, to this beautiful state-of-the-art clinic that Mr. Mayor just referred to. And I can tell you that Diana Bajoie has been there every step of the way. And when I heard this announcement, I cheered, and Don and I ran right down here and shoved our way to the front to say that no one understands healthcare better than she does. We are so lucky that she has spent a lifetime looking at issues of prevention, early detection, breast cancer, cervical cancer, all cancers. And the one thing that she knows that I appreciate so much about her is that prevention and early detection and good health care begins in the community. And community leadership and community knowledge is the way we set the pace for health care. And she has done it in beauty shops and barber shops and street corners. And I would get a phone call every month saying, I've got this patient, do you think you could get her in? Do you think you could help? And I would always say, yes, ma'am. What an honor it is for this city to have this kind of leader. Congratulations and congratulations.
As many of you may recall, when our team was working in the Lieutenant Governor's office, one of the things we were trying to do with Main Streets is push them back into urban centers. We created something called the Louisiana Cultural Products Districts. Councilmember Head was very aggressive and forward-leaning in making sure that that moved down to the city level, along with a bunch of other council members. Two of these districts are in District B. One of them is on Aretha Castle Haley Boulevard. The other is on Ferret Street. And I know that all of you have seen the great progress in those two areas, as well as other cultural products districts in the city. I believe, if I'm remembering right, that we have 26 of them. Carol Bebel is here, who has been one of the anchors and mainstays of Aretha Castle Haley Boulevard with the Ashe Cultural Center. So Carol, if you would join us, we would love to hear from you for a moment.
Everybody said so much about Diana this morning. The big thing that I want to say is that she was dreaming big dreams for us before we were dreaming them ourselves. And she was working hard to be able to make resources available for the boulevard before there were other people who wanted to be there on the boulevard. And part of how she did it is because she's such a fabulous servant leader. We've got lots of folks who leave, but she also serves, and she's in the community, poking her nose into things, checking on stuff, and trying to figure out how she can be of assistance. And so this is a fabulous opportunity that we have here, and we thank her so much.
Carol, thank you. Also on Ferret Street, Lauren Anderson, who has been working on housing in that area for some time, was there when the original Mr. Weber was there, as those of you might recall. I'm not trying to age you, but and Mr. Bean's formal wear was one of the mainstays. Jesse, amen to that. working in the 13th Ward, which is right across the street from where I grew up and where I live now. And so, Lauren, I'd like you to talk to us a little bit about Freret Street and the work that you've been doing there and Diana's involvement.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. It's my pleasure to be here to celebrate having a council person in District B. I am the CEO of Neighborhood Housing Services. We've been working in New Orleans for over 35 years, and for much of that time, we have committed ourselves to the revitalization of the Freret Street corridor and the Freret neighborhood. And if you haven't been in our neighborhood recently, I invite you to come and see. Senator Bajoie, I know we're right around the corner from you. My board president, Audrey Browder, goes to church with the senator. So you're certainly an old friend, someone with whom we've been able to, long-term friend, trusted ally. And if you haven't had a chance to be on Freret Street recently, I'd like to give you an invitation for a personal tour so that you can get to know both the businesses and the residents who rely on a very strong, close partnership with our elected officials and city government to make all the good things happen. We know that we can't do this alone. It's got to be in partnership with the city and with our elected officials, and Senator Bajoie has been an advocate and supporter of this neighborhood for a long time, and so I'm delighted, and the neighborhood is delighted to work with you in this new capacity and be a real partner to you and support you in any way that we can. So thank you very much.
Also mentioned that Diana had very, very deep roots with the faith-based community, and Father John Czeseski, who was at one time the pastor of St. Matthias and St. Monica, am I remembering that correctly? And now St. Catherine Drexel. There's been some changes in the Archdiocese, but the names are different, but the places remain the same. Father John Czeseski. And then after that, Pastor Gordon, if you will, who ministers in the middle of Central City.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Mayor. You've made a wonderful choice. I don't think there's anyone who loves New Orleans more than Diana. I think we all know that. Am I right? The good news is we're getting someone who's committed, who has so much experience, who has the love of the city. The bad news for us at St. Catherine Drexel is we would rather have her with us retired because she's been so generous with her time, and now we know she's going to be active for these 2 years with the city. Of course, the good news eventually is 6 months. Oh, 6 months.
Gotta go.
That's even better news. I do want to say this: as Diana's pastor, I've certainly seen her faith and realize that we're also getting someone who's very much based in strength of morals and sense of what's right and what's good, concerned with the poor of the city as well as all the others in our city. What people don't know, perhaps, is the past 2 or 3 years that Diana has been a caregiver for her mother. And in the midst of all of that, insisting that her mother stay in the home and be cared for in the home, she takes her aunt to also be with her until both of them are called by the Lord. It was a wonderful gift to see somebody give so much time and care and love with her brothers and sisters to those who are in the last stages of their life. So I honor her also for that and make mention of that, because that also qualifies her for me to be a leader for us on the City Council. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, and to all who are assembled here today, this is a joyous occasion, and I want to congratulate Councilperson Diana Bajoie. I want to also commend our mayor for making an excellent choice. Now, I have known Diana for quite a while. Her family lived next door to my father's church back during the 60s. And her brothers and sisters, we used to play together. They were our Catholic friends. They were Catholic, but they lived next door to a Baptist church. But but I have known the family and their character and their integrity. And I would say to you, Mayor Landrieu, that you could not have made choice of a better person. And I certainly feel good that she will be the council person for District B. That is where New Zion, the church, members throughout the city. But the building is located where all of our work, much of our work, takes place. And of course, New Zion Baptist Church was once pastored by the late Dr. A.L. Davis Jr., who served as the first black city council person since Reconstruction. So I know that you will do well, and I'll be praying for you and look forward to working with you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Diana, it's good to know you are right for a Catholic. Just saying. If I clean, thank you, Pastor. That and cleanup. Ron Gardner, who has been a voice for LSU for a long time, will speak to the commitment that Senator Bajoie has to helping build probably the greatest economic development engine that this city will see in a very, very long time. The construction that actually has cranes in the sky as we speak, the VA and the University Medical Center that is going to provide the basis for great jobs and a great future for all of our young people. Sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for inviting me, and as everybody else has expressed, thank you for the clarity of thinking about selecting Diana. I don't think, we certainly appreciate it here, but more importantly, outside this room, I think people want to see this. This is, I think, government leadership at its best. And though it may sometimes not make the headlines, it is important for folk like that, and so we appreciate your thinking. We appreciate, of course, Diana, you accepting certainly the council, your council colleagues who have, I guess, agreed and hold to work in concert with you and you with them. I think the overriding thing in the mayor, that is nothing that the mayor left unsaid, but the overriding thing I think we all feel about Diana is that you never have to guess, regardless of the title she has, what's behind door number 3 with her. We get Diana and the level of commitment, and Diana's commitment, as Carol alluded to, relative to the corridor there, also relative to health care, whether it was women's health in particular or health care in general. We would not be having this hospital built without the work that Diana did, the groundwork that she did a long time ago, along with the Lieutenant Governor and many others. I think our challenge as citizens is to appreciate that. In fact, that without effective leadership, at the mayor's seat, councilmanic leadership, if they fail, we fail. So our challenge as citizens, and I guess more to the people who will be looking at this, is that our challenge now is to support these folk in very difficult tasks that they have, regardless of the district, and certainly where the mayor is responsible for this entire city in the larger region, is to support them in that clear, strong, good leadership. If that's what we want when we have it, we have to support it. And so thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, council members. Certainly thank you, sweetheart, for all that you have done and continue to do for the city, for the state, and certainly for health care. We appreciate that. Chancellor Oye wanted to express that he's out of town, but again, Mr. Mayor, thank you for that.
Council members Palmer and Guidry are in a hearing right now. They expressed their regrets, otherwise they would have been here. Transportation, exactly. And Councilperson Head is out of town and asked me to express her thanks as well and her congratulations to you, Senator. I will say that as you listen to all of these community leaders that represent in its broadest and deepest and its richest way the hopes, the wishes, the aspirations of District B, I think the message comes out loud and clear that we have somebody that we know. We have somebody with great experience, great expertise, somebody that can hit the ground running. And you would go a long way to find a person that has a negative thing to say about Diana Bajoie. You got to work really hard not to like Diana. And so I am thrilled that you have again said yes, most amazingly, at this point in your life. She is the right person for the right job at the right time. And so I, on behalf of all of the people that I have had the opportunity to speak to commend her to you, the people of the city of New Orleans, as the interim council member for District B, and think that she is a perfect choice for us. So Diana, thank you so much. God bless you.